Hi, this is Phil Shapiro in Tacoma Park, Maryland. I wanted to give you a tour of these really fun logic puzzles called Rokoban, R-O-K-O-B-A-N. It's a 3D, visually gorgeous puzzles that are based on the earlier kind of puzzles called Sokoban, S-O-K-O-B-A-N, from Japan. Those came out in the early 1980s and were very popular. I love playing the Sokoban logic puzzles, but I love playing these new ones. Now, I have this here on my Linux laptop, and it's Windows software, but I'm using a kind of magical thing called Wine, W-I-N-E, that you can download for free. So Linux is free, Wine is free, and you can download the Rokoban puzzles for free. I'm going to have a link in the description of this video, YouTube video. There's a link down there where you can go and get this Rokoban's puzzles. Let's take a peek here. I double click. It is so pretty. Look at this. Wow. Rokoban puzzles. Let's look at the options. So the options are English or Spanish, it looks like. So we go English, language, and let's go start. Over here, the doorway means we want to quit the puzzles and go back to the desktop of your computer. Let's go start. And I've already solved some of these puzzles. I'm going to click on pack number 1. And I want to come back to the first one over here. So I already solved this, so I'd like to solve it again, actually. Here we are. So isn't this interesting? It's so pretty. So the Sokoban puzzles are in 2 dimensions, and this is in 3 dimensions. Here's the object of the game. The object of the game is, this is a warehouse, and we want to push these big heavy boxes into the storage area. Here's our person. I'm using the 4 arrow keys to move around, the 4 arrow keys on the keyboard, and I want to push the boxes one by one into these storage areas, which are round, gray rectangles. And this is called an order of operations puzzle, which means if we push the boxes in the wrong order, we aren't going to be able to solve the puzzle. So we have to figure out which is the first box to push, which is the second box to push, and which is the third. And this puzzle is so much like a metaphor for life, because each one of us faces puzzles in our lives, and we have to figure out which is the first step to do and what's the second step in the puzzle. Even our whole country and our whole globe faces puzzles that we have to try and figure out. We have to figure out which is the first step, what's the second step, what's the third step. Because if you do the second step before the first step, you're going to get stuck. So here, I've solved this before, and isn't this fun? We get to push boxes. I love doing this stuff. So I'm going to push this box over here. Let me see if I do a restart. If I come over here to the sand timer, I think I can do a restart. Look at that. Here's a restart. So I don't want to push this box over here. This box over here on the right, I don't want to push that one first, because if I get behind here and start pushing it in, I won't be able to push it down. There's no way to push it down if I push it down. If I'm able to get this box down to this little corridor, I'm not going to be able to push it down to the storage area, because there's no way to get the person behind it. Okay? So this box is not going to be the first box to move. It might be the last one. This box here, this one might be the first box to move. Let me show you how I'm going to try this. I push, push, push. This is so much fun. I love doing this. And I push it all the way down. And then I come over here and I push it all the way in. Now I have to figure out which of the boxes to push second. Should I go and get this one? No, I don't want to push this box because it could create a little traffic jam right here. If I push this box over here, I won't be able to get behind it. So this is our second box. This is the second box to push. I think you're beginning to get the idea behind this game. It's so much fun. And then after the box is in the storage area, it turns red. And watch me. I come over here, I push it down, then I have to come over here, I push it over. And then I still have to push it up before I can push it back. You see? And this game is a little bit like chess, because you have to look ahead. Look at that. And now I've finished solving this puzzle, and I'm dancing on top of the boxes. This is so visually fun. Now, if you play this game with children or adults and they play the three-dimensional version, then they're going to be much more likely to enjoy the two-dimensional version. And there are literally thousands of versions of the two-dimensional Sokoban puzzles. So let's say play next stage. Let's see if it gives me another stage. Okay, so this is another one here. And this one's a little harder. I haven't solved this one yet, but I might have to move this one out here like that, because I can come back here and get it later. So I can come back and get it later, and then I have to figure out which box moves next. I don't think I want to move. Let me try and think. Maybe if I move, I think I maybe want to move this one. And then move this one. And then move this one maybe. You can see, you can get stuck here. And it's almost fun getting stuck. No, because I can't, now I'm totally stuck because I can't get behind these. But anyway, you can see the funness of this game. And I'm going to click on the hourglass, the sand glass, and I say back to the menu. And over here, I'm going to exit with the little door here. And I'm back at the desktop. So this is Rokoban puzzles. It runs nicely. I'm here on Linux Mint 18. The puzzles are free. The operating system is free. And the emulator, the software called Wine, W-I-N-E, which actually stands for Wine is not an emulator, W-I-N-E, I downloaded that using the Synaptics Package Manager. People on Linux might know the Synaptics Package Manager, but I downloaded Wine, and then Rokoban plays really nicely. So it also plays on Windows. I'm pretty sure you can play it on the Mac. I tried it on my MacBook, and it almost played. It was slightly confusing, some of the things, but give it a try. This is Phil Shapiro. I hope you learned something new. Be sure to spread the knowledge. I love sharing ideas, but our society only works if you learn something useful, please tell 5 or 10 people. Because it doesn't work if you learn something useful and then you don't tell anybody else. That's how things don't work. So if you did find this helpful, please tell other people, either in your family or your school or your neighborhood. Bye.